there, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. You are with Renee, and Happy New Year. It is the 1st of 2021, and we are going to have a fantastic year. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with the Christmas gift unboxings and taking a look and reviewing the products that I received for Christmas. Today is the TomBow Irojiten. Hopefully I have pronounced that properly, which I probably didn't. Dictionary box set from volumes 1 through 9. And we will be unboxing these and reviewing them and, of course, doing a lovely swatch. So I'm going to let you go and watch the swatch, and we will be right back from that, and we will open all of these wonderful little boxes up and see what's inside. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Now, that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, so volume 1, or box 1, volume, let's see, there's box number 1. These are a TomBow product, and they are really nice, as you saw with the swatching. I'll grab the swatch here for you so you can see the colors in these wonderful pencils. So in volume 1, we have orchid pink, coral pink, shell pink, narcissus, probably pronounced that wrong, lettuce green, ice green, aqua, forget-me-not, lilac, and pigeon gray, which is really cool. So that is all of the colors in this lovely little box right here. Let's see if I open it right. So all these wonderful little colors are in volume 1. And then in volume 2, we have cherry red, tangerine orange, dandelion, chartreuse green, parrot green, peacock, kingfisher, lapis lazuli, and iris violet, as well as an ivory black, which is this little set right here. And this is a very, this set contains a lot of really vibrant normal colors like reds, greens, yellows, oranges, blues, and blacks. And they're really pretty, and they went down so nice. And then in this wonderful little one, I don't know why I did the elastic back up on that. I'm going to need that in a bit here. This one, of course, is the deep tone set for volume 1. And in it, it has the crimson chestnut, or the crimson, the chestnut brown, the autumn leaf, maple sugar, olive yellow, elm green, forest green, midnight blue, mulberry, and taupe. Yeah, taupe. And taupe is a bit of a gray color, which is a little strange to me, but I'm used to taupe being a little bit more of a brown. And this is a browny gray color. So that is in volume 1. Now in volume 2, or box 2, well, that's number 3. In box number 2, we have volumes 4, 5, and 6, which is a pale tone 2, a deep tone 2, and a light grayish tone 1. So we will take a look at those. So in pale tone 2, now pale tone 1 was volume 1 out of here, out of the first box. So this is the pale tones in volume 1, and this is the pale tones in volume 2. And we've got a rose pink, an apricot, a straw yellow, no, apricot and I'm going to pronounce that wrong, gambage, straw yellow, spring green, mint green, turquoise, celestial blue, hyacinth blue, and crocus. So these are very light colors. And as you can see on the swatch here, they are beautiful, pale, light colors. So they are going to work wonderfully for highlights and that sort of thing. And then we've got the deep tones 2, which the deep tones in the first box would be the volume 2, which is the cherry reds and that sort of thing. In this one, we have plum, maroon, terracotta, bamboo, mustard, moss green, as well as spruce, teal blue, and indigo. So it's got the darker blues, the darker reds, oranges, and greens. Now, one of the great things about this set that I really enjoy, and I'm trying to get it so you can see it, it does have a list of all the colors that are supposed to be in this box on the lid of the box, which is fantastic. I actually really, really like that. I wish they had the color swatch with it, but, you know, you can only ask for so much. Okay, so the next set we have, which is volume number 6, is going to be another, this is a grayish tone set, so it's got the lighter tones that are added with a bit of gray. So we've got fawn, cork, sallow, wax yellow, willow, mist green, quartz green, porcelain blue, campania blue, and sea fog, which is this one here. So some really, really nice colors, like Sea Fog down here is a really, really nice color for your grayscale. So is Campanula blue. Beautiful colors for doing grayscales especially. There's a lot of really nice colors in here for doing skin tones, for doing your grayscales, for adding a bit of grayscale or a bit of shadowing to a line art and that sort of thing. Absolutely gorgeous colors. Now here's a fun one. This is volume number 3, and it's got fluorescence, some very pale tones and some dull tones. And the fluorescents are really, really, really bright. They are very, very fluorescent colors. So that is a lot of fun. Now I have found with some colors, and I don't know, some colored pencils, sorry, that do have fluorescence in their boxes. They don't seem to have, they're very bright when you put them down, but when you go to take a picture of it, that fluorescent color doesn't stand out as much as you would want it to. So in this one, of course, we've got plastic pink, surprise red, equatorial orange, sunset orange, dazzling sun, firefly yellow, lightning yellow, neon orange, flat or neon green, sorry, flash green, and vigorous green. So a lot of really, really bright colors. And as you can see on their tips there, they are really, really bright. And with the swatch here, you can see that they are still bright even on paper, which is really good. All right, now the next one we're going to look at is some very pale tones. So that's this set here. And they are some really, really, really pastel tones. And they are very, very pretty. So we've got cameo pink, almond blossom, ecru, eggshell, asparagus, opal green, cascade, horizon blue, lupine, and vermilion. And just verbena, sorry, not vermilion, verbena. And they are just absolutely beautiful, beautiful light colors that are going to work fantastically for highlights. And of course, there's always got to be a train, doesn't there? So we'll probably be using some of those as well. And the last but not least is the dull tones. And in our dull tones, we've got cedar wood, cinnamon, sage green, verdigris, hummingbird, jay blue, hydrangea blue, heather, and Tyrian purple. Now, I don't find them to be dull. I think they are very, very vibrant colors. They would definitely be on the dark edge of your coloring. So if you're going to do, say, a tree that is going to be light greens to monotone colors, you know, these two here would be fantastic for that. These would be great for brick colors. These ones, you know, there's so many different things that you can do even with those duller tones. So that is our swatch. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Of course, you know, as you know, I always speed those up, so it's definitely not as long for you to watch as it is for me to do. We're going to try some of these pencils out. I did not have any difficulty sharpening any of them that I was using. They are a little bit short on the original sharp tip, so I found that I needed to sharpen quite a few of them. Let's see, what colors are we going to use? Now, the only problem with having them all out like this is it takes up a lot of room. Where if you had them in a bag or in a case, which is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to end up putting them in a case just because they're so many little boxes, and they take up so much room when you're trying to color. So for that reason alone, I'm going to put them in a bag. I really don't want to, because they are just so cute in their little boxes. But I also want to be able to use them and not get frustrated trying to use them. And that's my biggest thing, is I don't like being frustrated when I'm trying to find something. And you would think that with having them, and if I was just doing one swatch at it, like one picture at a time, and I can grab the swatch and say, okay, I need volume this, volume that, volume whatever, I can grab them off the shelf here very easily. But for this purpose, and to do a large area all at once, can be a little bit daunting, especially if you're using a blue from this one, a blue from that one, and a blue from this one. You have to have them all figured out on where everything is. So I'm just moving things around here for you. As you know, we started on this beautiful lady with the woodless skin tones, and then we went and used the Derwent Color Soft on her hair, and today we're going to actually color her dress. And I was talking about the blues because that's either blue or green is what I want to do her dress as. And because there's so many different leaf elements, which will probably be colored in gold or silver, of course, because that is a metallic crown. But with these leaf things here, I think I would rather go with a green than a blue. So I want to grab a couple of different greens. I think I'm going to grab Hummingbird, which is a bluey green color. Now, I have heard people say that these are very, very hard pencils, and I don't find them to be overly hard. I'm going to sharpen this, and I'll show you how well it sharpens. And I'm, of course, using the Dial 133. I'm going to bring that out to a bit more of a tip. I'm sorry, I do apologize. My dog is decided that she needs to talk to y'all too. So, all right. So as you can see, that tip sharpened up nice and pointy. I'm going to switch on over to the other camera here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm taking this Hummingbird color, which is a really dull green, seafoam, dull, dark sea kind of green. And I'm just going to use it on those extremely dark areas. So up in the shadows, everywhere that it seems to be really, really dark. And of course you can't see because my camera isn't pointed to the right spot. There we go. How's that? Sorry about that, guys. So up in here, where there's going to definitely be a shadow from the brooch or the clasp or whatever you want to call it. Down here where her arm is showing through, and over here where the sleeve and the rest of the blouse comes together. And I call it a blouse because I don't know if it's a dress or a blouse. So because I can't see if it's a dress or a blouse, I'm calling it a blouse. And just the darkest of areas. Don't worry too much about the lighter area, because we're going to come back in with another colored pencil for that. Good on that side. And I'm just going to do up here along the neckline. Okay, so I've got down quite a bit of this dark color in those areas that are on her sleeve and that side of her chest. Now over on this side, we're going to go a little bit darker because this side here has the light hitting it, and this side here doesn't have as much light hitting it. So I'm going to go a little bit darker over here. And I'm going to go over the skin tones that I've put down so that you can see that the shirt is there, but it's translucent. It's not as visible. It's see-through a little bit on the sleeves. Now, I didn't want it to be see-through on the breast, but I did want it to be see-through on the sleeves because you can see her arm, the edges of her arm through it. So if you could see her cleavage or her breast line through this, I would also make it translucent and would have colored the skin tone underneath it. But because I can't see a breast line or a breastbone, or even the curvature of the breast through the gown, it is definitely not see-through in that area. All right, now we've got that one done. I'm going to put this one back in volume 9. And then we're going to take forest green out of volume 3. So go find volume 3. And this is the part that kind of I don't like, because you're digging around. And I want forest green, which is this one, to see which box is which. And that's the only thing I really don't like about having them all spread out where I have them spread out. If I had them all up on the shelf, I would probably feel a little bit sorry, tongue-tied, a little bit better about the boxes. But they are adorable. I really, really like them. I have another dictionary set from how do you pronounce it? Somebody told me how to pronounce it, and I always get it wrong. Colore. And I just absolutely love that little box. And I never did take the pencils out of that dictionary box, but it's only 5 little boxes. So it's a little bit different. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm extending out from the dark area with a medium colored pencil, which is this forest green. And I'm just extending that out as lightly as possible and still getting a good layer of proper green there. Because you still want to leave as much of the lighting area as possible, but you still want the green color to come through, because we are going to actually work from dark to light on this picture in this area. I couldn't do it on the hair because of the type of pencils. These are a little bit harder, so I'm really hoping that they'll blend together, not overtake each other, is what I'm hoping. Okay, so now we're going into her sleeves, and I'm going to darken this area, which is a bit of a puff or a indent, crease, that's it, crease in her sleeve. Also, I'm going up in here into that shadow area a little bit where the skin is still showing through. because I want the skin to show through. Now I'm not going to try to cover over a lot of the skin tone, but I am going to highlight and darken areas that the material is thicker, like up here on the top of her sleeve and back here, because those areas, the material of the blouse or the gown or the shirt or whatever you want to call it is definitely thicker and has more ability to show the true color of what she's wearing. So I'm going to go a little darker in those areas. Down here where I've got the skin tone showing through, I'm not going to color into that too much. Just enough that you can see that the shirt is green. And that's why when I did the skin tones, I left quite a bit of it still white, because I wanted to be able to, or the lighter color, because I wanted to be able to go through this and still have you know that the shirt was a different color, that it wasn't all pink or all skin tone. And so that you could see that the shirt is a shirt, not just her arm. And that you can see that it's translucent. Because if I had colored this without putting that skin tone in there, I could have colored it as a solid sleeve without putting the skin tone in there if I would have not put that in there. So it would have actually looked like a solid sleeve instead of like a translucent sleeve. All right, now I'm going to take a lighter green, and I think I'm going to grab spring green or lettuce green. I think spring green, which is in volume 4. I'll put this one back in volume 3, and then we're going to grab volume 4, which is right here, and we're going to grab spring green. And if this isn't dark enough, we can of course go over it. Now there are no metallics in this set at all. So if you can find an Irojiten metallic set, that would be a great combination with this set. Like I said, it does not have any sort of metallic, so it doesn't have any golds or silvers or anything like that. That is definitely something that you would have to purchase separately or create with the colors that are provided. And of course, that is very easy to do. I have done a video on how to do antique gold that was taught to me by another YouTube artist. And I have left links to her tutorial as well within mine. So if you watch mine and you want to see where I learned that from and how she does it, of course you can definitely do that. Silver is done pretty much the same way. Just taking a dark around the edges, bringing that dark into a medium, and then adding a light. And making sure that the light source that you have showing there comes up so that it looks like the high points are being hit with a lot of light. Now I am doing this very loosely over the entire arm, as lightly as I can. I'm trying not to change the color of the skin too much, but still give it the effect that there's a different color over top. so that it looks like the sleeve, of course, is over top of her skin, not in her skin. The very first time I ever did a thin veil material when coloring, it looked like it was protruding out of her skin. It was horrible. That one never ever got publicized. That one got reworked real quick. Was terrified of coloring clothing for the longest time after that. So now I'm going to actually grab number, it's in volume 5, I think. No. Which one was it? Forest green is what I'm going to grab. And I'm just going to bring that down a little bit, very, very lightly, because that line is a little sharp. And if you see that any of your lines are a little bit sharp, just extend out the color that the sharp line is just lightly, enough that you can see it, but not enough that when you put down the light color, that you're not going to be able to see the light color. I just didn't like the way that line jutted out very harshly. Because this is material, it's supposed to be free-flowing, not hard. And because it's a light material, we want it to show that flow, not the hard lines of starchy material. And of course, this is a picture out of Christine Caron's book, Fairies and Fantasies. And I will, of course, leave a link to this book in the description, along with the link to the TomBow Irojiten. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong, and I am so sorry. I know I'm going to get a bunch of comments and trying to teach me how to say it, and I swear to God, my mouth just won't go there. How about I just call them TomBow Dictionary Set? I can say that. I know that's not what they're... Well, that is what they're called, but that's not what they meant by calling it that way. Now, I did not go in here with that light green, medium green, which, oops, my bad. So you just go back into it and just fill it in a little bit before you get to it with that light green. And like I said, make sure that you leave a dusting or, just a shadow of your darker color, your medium color, so that when you go over it with the light color, it isn't a really harsh line. And these are quite a stiff pencil. They do go down quite nicely. It's not really scratchy or anything like that, but they are a very, very stiff lead. What I mean by that is I can put down a lot of pressure on these pencils, blend out the colors that I'm trying to blend out, and not break the lead, which is beautiful to me. That is just absolutely fantastic. And once again, I'm going over top of the arm. I'm going over top of the skin with this light color, but I'm not doing it so hard that it horribly changes the skin tone, just enough that you can see that there is a color there that is not skin. So that you can see that there is clothing there. Now this side here, it's not as detrimental because her hair is in the way, so most of it is covered up by her hair. But this side here is where all your light's hitting. So make sure that you get your light greens in there. Make sure you get them blended well with your dark greens. And make sure that your light sources are popping out there a little bit. Okay, so that is the greens in the Irojiten colored pencils. And I'm going to try to blend this just a little bit with this Caran d'Ache blender pencil if I can find it. What did I do with it? I just had it. Oh, I hate that. I've got so much stuff on my desk right now that I pick things up and I put them down and then they're gone. Here it is. So I'm going to try to blend that with the Caran d'Ache. I'm going to turn on the light here so I can see a little bit better. I had it off because I didn't want to blind you with the glare off of these pencils. Sometimes they get really shiny, especially after you do this with them. Now I'm not having a lot of lift off, so that means I've done well with putting down that color. And it's just moving it around a little bit for me and bringing those colors together a little bit. Now, I have used these on this blender pencil on other colors that has worked a little bit better, but for what I want it to do, it is doing it quite well. And that's just move a little bit of the color into those white spots that I may have missed. I do have my new glasses on, so I can actually see them a little bit better. And this side here, I don't have quite enough color down, I think, because I am using parts of the Caran d'Ache to fill it in. But it is moving that pencil around and filling in that white spot for me, so that's pretty cool. I like that. And this is another one of those gifts that I got for Christmas, so I have been playing with it a lot lately, and I just absolutely love this blender thing. It's a blender, burnisher, I'm not quite sure, but it's fantastic. It makes everything look so pretty and so finished. And definitely not something I would want to do until I've got all the colors down on my page. I have tried to color over top of this, and it does not work very well. So make sure that your colors are on the page before you do this, because you're not going to get much more out of it after that. And it does make it look very finished, very shiny, and it eliminates a lot of that white spot. And I may not have put enough color around here because I'm getting some peel off, which is fine. Didn't want to put too much color in these areas because I want it to look like a see-through shirt. So I will dust it off with my dusting brush here in a minute. But as you can see, I've made it so it looks very, very much like the shirt is see-through. Especially on her arms. And then tomorrow, I know tomorrow is our Saturday, and we usually do a live for Saturday. Tomorrow, what I want to do is I want to actually do two different products because they both coincide very well with what I'm doing here. And that is the brush tip pens from Now I've lost my brush. The brush tip products that I received from my husband that are done by Spectrum Noir. I want to use the gold tones that are in that for the metallic on here, as well as all these little tiny spots. There's little tiny dots everywhere. I want to use the pearl in the Ranger's liquid pearl for those little spots. So that is what I will be doing tomorrow on this picture. Leave me a comment in the comment section on whether or not you want me to do that on stream live with you all tomorrow for our Saturday color and chat, or if you would just rather I do a video and continue on with it being just the Christmas videos. Of course, if you are not a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I do put out at least one video every single day, and except for Sundays. Sundays is an oddball day. Sometimes I have special little things I put out on Sunday, but mostly Sundays are our family time here in my house. So of course, like the video, if you enjoyed the little bit of tutorial here and the information on the TomBow Irojiten Irojiten colored pencils that I received for Christmas. I will be using them on several different occasions throughout the year for our color alongs. I love them. I think they are just fantastic. They are a little bit harder of a pencil, which is great, especially if you are heavy-handed. But they still shade really, really nicely. They layer beautifully, and they're just a wonderful pencil. I am just extremely impressed with those, as well as these Caran d'Ache. Now that I've learned how to say it properly, Caran d'Ache blender pencils. These are just, wow. They just seem to blend everything, and they're an entire stick of it. I don't have shavings, all over the place to deal with. I sharpen it when I need a sharp point. I don't sharpen it if I don't need a sharp point. It's, wonderful. And it doesn't seem to pick up a whole lot of the color. It does a little tiny bit, especially if you don't have a lot of color in the area or have too much, but it doesn't do like, for example, the Prisma blender, where it just scratches off the color. It just smooths it all out, gets rid of all that white spot, and makes it look gorgeous. Okay, I'll stop gushing about that blender pencil at this moment. Of course, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, we do have a Facebook community specifically for my friends and family members. Well, not my family members, because none of my family colors, but friends and internet family members who have joined me in my coloring journey. Also, a lot of people who have joined me here on YouTube have joined me in Facebook, and thank you so much. If you want to join us over on the Facebook group, you are absolutely welcome to do so, whether all you need to do is fill out the small questionnaire with the application, and somebody will get you in there as quickly as possible. So absolutely, the only thing I'm asking of you today, of course, is have a fantastic New Year's Day. And if you want me to do the color and chat tomorrow, which is Saturday, and I always do a Saturday color and chat, we all know this. If you want me to do it live, please leave me a comment in the comments section, and I will work with those two different products on this picture tomorrow with you all. If you want me just to do it in a video so I can do a swatching of those pearls, let me know that as well. Either or. I'm good for both. So I need to know what you guys want to see and what you guys want to be a part of. So please, 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 please leave me a comment in the comment section, and I will take all of those comments into advisement and do what you feel is something that you would like to see the most. Of course, like the video and any other video that you watch on the channel. Likes help my videos get out there. The more they're liked, the more they're viewed. And of course, like I said, if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll get a video almost every single day. If you enjoy my content, I would be so appreciative and so honored. All in all, have a fantastic day. And this is the start to a brand new year. And together we will make it wonderful. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye for now. Of course, relax, color, and stay safe.